What else? A little mom service in bed.
That man and his merch.
Hello and welcome to That Man. That is me merchandise, and today we are looking at Do You Love Your Mom and Her 2-Hit Multi-Target Attacks Volume 3. Now if you kind of like this kind of weird, off-the-top, light novel stuff, please leave a like, please consider subscribing, and we'll have a look at this weird series that is somehow absolutely great. So, Do You Love Your Mom and Her 2-Hit Multi-Target Attacks is a title that has been talked about quite some time on this channel. I picked up the volume 1 as a kind of... it looked so stupid, it looked ridiculous, and it was so bad it was good. And then volume 2 came and it was better. And volume 3 continues that trend somehow. So this tells the story of an isekai where a young man ends up getting sucked into a game, and his power, kind of special Pokemon power if you will, is that his mom has came for the ride. However, she is incredibly overpowered and overprotective. Double OP. And usually most battles end up with her defeating all of the monsters before he even gets a chance to even shine. The rest of the cast are ultimately pretty useless in that respect. There's Wise, the mage, who always manages to get her powers sealed in every single attack. Maid, the beautiful priestess, who has a split personality that isn't particularly nice, and Porter, the young adorable one who is a bit like a squirrel foraging for nuts. And of course there's the main character himself, who is genuinely not interesting. Not gonna lie, you're here for the mom. And volume 3 of this continues to have that upward trend of mom in weird predicaments. It's still a fan servicey series, but it's one that they know what they're doing now. It's one of those ones I kind of picked up on. So we've kind of got two things that's kind of running on with it. We've got different types of moms as enemies, and we've got mom in different costumes. So volume 1 we had mom being attacked by slime, so we can have the slime related figure. Volume 2 we had mom as a schoolgirl in a sailor uniform, so we can have the sailor uniform mom figure. And volume 3 we have mom in a maid outfit, so we can have the mom maid figure. Man, I really assume that they will release figures of all of these. You smart people. Really, when it comes down to it, you see this kind of stuff in a lot of series. Konosuba, for example, was one where they did release all of the girls in swimsuits, and all of the girls in bunny girl costumes, and all of the girls in other different types of costumes. ReZero already did the whole thing with the maids and stuff like that. So having the mom in these costumes isn't really a surprise. But when you think about it, if they release figures of all of these, for people who really like that series, they are gonna really probably end up picking it up. I'm not gonna lie, as soon as that mom figure came up of the default one, I pre-ordered it, and I'm gonna pre-order the Nendroid because I'm weird. But this is the thing about this series, is that it's so bad it's good. It's almost one of those things that you kind of look at it and it's like, no, this is never going to work. But it somehow does, and it somehow keeps on managing to surprise me on how good it is. The main character is not interesting. You're here for the mom, you're here for the side characters. But altogether it still makes an interesting narrative. The game world has been pretty well designed, and I'm actually feeling a lot more interested in this world than I am in stuff like The Rising of the Shield Hero, or How Not to Summon the Demon Lord, where it's just kind of like, yeah, here's your fantasy setting. Whereas this, it's kind of like, oh well, this is a game made for moms, and to bond with their children, to get them closer. And the whole premise is that there's distant relationships and it's trying to fix them. But like, every time I'm reading it, I'm getting new and unique stuff that I'm not really getting with other series. And that's one of the reasons why I can't actually hate this one. It's unique in that it's surprisingly competent. The world's been really thought out, and it's a step above your usual fantasy isekai narrative world. It's actually getting to the likes of maybe not so much Overlord, but maybe like ReZero, where we kind of do know enough about the world that we kind of are learning a huge amount of different things, and that's, for me, is what I like in a light novel. So, as well as having Mom in a maid outfit, there's a reason why she's in a maid outfit, and this reason is that Momoko and the rest of the crew somehow managed to acquire their own guild, and it ended up being called Mom's Guild. And yeah, so it's kind of weird. It's just kind of like, oh well, you go to Mom's Guild and you get Mom's home cooking, and you get Mom's special pat down, you get Mom's laundry and stuff like that, and it's just like, yeah, it's your home away from home. And of course all of the characters get maid costumes, and you still kind of get that weird awkward point in the series where they're just like, hey, you know what kid, you know what son, we'll give that to your mom. And it's like, and yeah, I mean, it's still kind of that whole creepiness of being the mom and the child and stuff like that. But the narrative in this one is quite interesting in that we now have a league of people against moms. That's right, we have a shadowy group of people who do not like moms and are two-hit multi-target attacks. And they're just like, yeah, we're going to beat you up and we're going to destroy everything that you love. And that ends up being the kind of like the whole of this story for this particular one. And the character is, again, interesting. She's an idiot, she's a goofball, she slips up, she just reveals all of her plans before she's going to announce it. But she does have that level of competency that she is still a genuine threat, and that's one of the things I really did like about how they are developing the characters. Aside from the main one, most of the other characters are pretty decent in terms of how funny they are. It's still a kind of like, yeah, it's still a bit tropey, but I still kind of feel like I'm getting more from this than I am from some other series where they kind of focus on the tropes and don't really have much else. So with this whole guild, they end up having a mom's guild because all of the moms end up joining forces to take on the league against moms. And yeah, I was just like, yeah, that's stupid, brilliant, fine, I'll do that. But the moms are kind of like, they're like, oh well, I can't do that. Oh, I've left the back door open. I can't do that. Oh, I've left the lights on. And it's ridiculous, but it's just like, yeah, well, those kind of things where I think a lot of people who have been with their mum at some point where they went out and they were getting somewhere, and went, oh, I forgot to do that, and it's like, oh well, that's fine, we'll turn back, we'll do that. And it's like one of those things. It's like these simple little things where it's not being mean about mothers, but it's just like one of those little quirks that mothers seem to have. I mean, literally at one point there is a washing machine fight. There's either fight using laundry, and I was just like, sure, I've came here for everything else, why not? So if you enjoy Do You Love Your Mum and a two-hit multi-target attacks, this one continues the trend of being a really fun series, and the anime is probably going to cover this. I'm expecting the anime to at least get up to this point and around then, which is perfectly fine by me. I kind of feel like it's a nice little build-up, jumping-off point. They probably will get a little bit further because I think in Japan they're like on volume 9 of this, which is surprising because the afterward in here was like, when was it? It was early summer 2017, and there's 9 volumes, so you can tell that this thing is getting absolutely pumped out very quickly, much like ReZero, where it was a few years ago that was on volume 10, now it's on volume 20. Yeah, they're pumping these things out like mad, so yeah, fun times. But yeah, it's a great series. It's not for everybody, never expected it to be for everybody, but it's one of those ones that you probably will enjoy a little bit if you give it a shot. And that's it from me. Thank you very much for coming, and if you did like this, please leave a like, please consider subscribing, and get excited, we've got plenty more stuff coming up.